Imagine a world where a skin cancer diagnosis happens in seconds from a photo on your phone, where an AI flags a dangerous drug interaction before your pharmacist even looks at your prescription, where radiology scans are analyzed by a system that has studied more images in a month than a human radiologist sees in a lifetime. That world is not a TED Talk fantasy. It is happening right now, inside real hospitals, used by real doctors on real patients. AI in healthcare has moved from research papers to clinical deployment at a pace that most people outside the industry haven't registered. This video covers what's actually deployed, what the genuine challenges are, and where this is all heading. The most mature applications of AI in healthcare today are in diagnostics, using AI to help identify diseases from medical images, lab results, or patient data. Radiology is perhaps the most advanced. AI models trained on millions of chest X-rays, CT scans, and MRIs have demonstrated performance on par with or better than experienced radiologists in specific tasks. Systems from companies like ADOC and RAD-AI are deployed in hundreds of hospitals, flagging critical findings, pulmonary embolism, intracranial hemorrhage, vertebral fractures, so they get immediate attention rather than waiting in a queue. The way this typically works in practice is augmentation, not replacement. The AI reviews every scan as it comes in, flags cases it considers urgent, and ensures the radiologist's attention is directed to the highest priority cases first. For hospitals dealing with overnight coverage or high scan volumes, this is genuinely life-saving, catching critical findings hours earlier than they might otherwise be caught. Pathology is another area seeing rapid AI deployment. Digital pathology, digitizing biopsy slides and analyzing them with AI, can identify cancer with accuracy comparable to specialist pathologists. Companies like PathAI are working with major cancer centers to deploy these systems at scale. Dermatology has seen AI models that match or exceed dermatologist performance at classifying skin lesions as benign or malignant from photographs. Some of this has made it into consumer apps. You can photograph a mole and get an AI assessment, though with appropriate warnings about limitations and the need for professional evaluation. Ophthalmology is another area. Google DeepMind's AI for detecting diabetic retinopathy from eye scans has been one of the landmark demonstrations of medical AI, showing that AI could be deployed in lower resource settings to catch a leading cause of blindness earlier. Beyond imaging, AI is increasingly embedded in the electronic health record, EHR, systems where clinicians spend enormous amounts of their time. One of the most significant developments is AI-assisted clinical documentation. Physicians spend a staggering amount of time on notes. Some studies suggest over half their work hours. Ambient listening tools using AI can now sit in during a patient visit, transcribe the conversation, and generate a structured clinical note automatically. Microsoft's Dragon Ambient Experience, DAX, and Nuance's products are deployed in major health systems, with physicians reporting that their documentation burden drops dramatically. This matters not just for efficiency. Physician burnout is at crisis levels in the US and globally, and documentation burden is a major contributor. Tools that give time back to physicians are having real effects on satisfaction and sustainability. AI is also being used for clinical decision support, flagging potential drug interactions, suggesting diagnostic considerations the clinician might not have thought of, and identifying patients in hospital settings who are at risk of deterioration before it becomes clinically obvious. Epic's health record system has built-in predictive models for things like sepsis risk and readmission risk. Drug discovery is one of the most expensive, me-consuming, and failure-prone processes in all of human endeavor. Getting a new drug from initial discovery to market takes an average of 10 to 15 years and costs well over $1 billion. The failure rate is staggering. Most drug candidates fail in clinical trials. AI is beginning to compress this timeline meaningfully. The most dramatic demonstration came from DeepMind's AlphaFold, an AI system that solved the protein folding problem. Proteins are the molecular machines that carry out virtually all biological functions in living cells, and understanding their 3D structure from their amino acid sequence is fundamental to drug development. This problem stumped researchers for 50 years. AlphaFold cracked it in 2020, and DeepMind subsequently released structures for essentially all known proteins. The scientific community calls it one of the greatest breakthroughs in biological science in decades. Beyond protein structure, AI is being used throughout the drug discovery pipeline, identifying potential drug targets, predicting whether a molecule will bind to a target effectively, predicting toxicity early, and designing novel molecules with desired properties. Companies like Recursion, In Silico Medicine, and Schrödinger have made AI-first drug discovery their entire business model. Early results are promising. The first AI-designed drug candidate entered human clinical trials in 2023. More are in the pipeline. The speed of initial discovery phases has been compressed from years to months in some cases. The cost of sequencing a human genome has dropped from $100 million in 2001 to under $1,000 today, and it's continuing to fall. The result is a flood of genomic data, and AI is the key to making sense of it. AI models trained on large genomic datasets are identifying genetic variants associated with disease risk, drug response, and treatment outcomes. This is the foundation of personalized medicine, moving away from one-size-fits-all treatments toward therapies tailored to an individual's genetic profile. Cancer treatment is being transformed by this. Rather than treating breast cancer as a single disease, genomic profiling reveals distinct molecular subtypes that respond differently to different treatments. AI systems that can process and interpret these profiles are helping oncologists choose the most effective treatment for each patient's specific cancer. Pharmacogenomics, understanding how genetics affects drug metabolism, is another critical application. Some patients are poor metabolizers of certain drugs, meaning a standard dose is too strong. Others are rapid metabolizers and need higher doses. AI-assisted genetic testing before prescribing can prevent adverse drug events that currently injure or kill thousands of patients annually. Mental health care is one of the areas where AI's potential is both exciting and ethically complex. The basic problem: there are nowhere near enough mental health providers to meet the global need. In the US alone, the shortage of mental health professionals means that millions of people who need care can't get it. AI-powered tools could extend the reach of the existing workforce and provide support where none currently exists. Apps like Wobot use AI-powered cognitive behavioral therapy techniques to provide accessible mental health support. Research shows measurable benefits for depression and anxiety symptoms, though these tools are positioned as supplements to, not replacements for, professional care. AI tools for crisis detection, analyzing patterns in communication, social media, or behavioral data to identify when someone might be at risk, are another active area. These systems raise serious privacy and ethical questions about surveillance and consent. Natural language AI is also being used to assist with therapy session documentation, supervision, and training, helping more therapists serve more patients by reducing administrative burden. The ethical stakes here are particularly high. Mental health data is among the most sensitive health information that exists. AI systems that analyze emotional states or mental health risk must be developed and deployed with extraordinary care for privacy, consent, accuracy, and the risk of stigma. I want to be clear that AI in healthcare is not a solved problem or a smooth rollout. There are real and serious challenges. Regulatory approval. Medical AI devices in the US require FDA clearance or approval. The regulatory pathway for AI, especially AI that learns and changes over time, is still evolving. This creates uncertainty for companies and slows deployment. Bias and generalizability. AI diagnostic models trained primarily on certain patient populations may perform worse on others. Skin condition detection models trained mostly on lighter skin tones may be less accurate on darker skin tones. This is an active and serious research problem with real equity implications. Integration and workflow. Getting AI tools to work within the complex, fragmented IT infrastructure of health systems is genuinely hard. Hospitals run dozens of different software systems that don't always talk to each other. AI tools that don't integrate smoothly into existing workflows don't get used, regardless of their technical performance. Liability. When an AI-assisted diagnosis is wrong, who is responsible? The physician, the hospital, the AI company? Legal frameworks for medical AI liability are still being worked out. Data privacy. Training medical AI requires large data sets of patient data. HIPAA governs how this data can be used, and navigating consent, de-identification, and data sharing agreements is complex. AI in healthcare is one of the most consequential applications of this technology. The potential to save lives, reduce diagnostic errors, accelerate drug discovery, and extend care to underserved populations is genuinely enormous. But so are the challenges and responsibilities involved in deploying AI in such high-stakes environments. This is a space I'll continue covering because the developments are moving fast and the implications are profound. Like and subscribe for weekly coverage of AI developments that matter. Drop a comment. I'm curious what healthcare AI applications you're most interested in or most concerned about. See you next week.